It's taking place across the national capital, from ITO, Mayur Vihar to Kashmiri Gate. Most of the areas are inundated. What actually is surprising and shocking for most of the people are the visuals that are coming from civil lines. NDRF boats in one of the poshest area in the national capital rescuing people. And for those people who have been staying on the Yamuna banks, they are now asking serious questions. They say that this is something which happens year after year. There's a monsoon fury, the level of the Yamuna rises, and then they are given shelter for a couple of days. Why is no one taking note of what exactly is the root cause? The BJP at the moment is pointing fingers at the Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party is now saying that he believes that this is being done because of the water which is being left from the barrage. The BJP now turning around and saying that you rule the MCD, you need to make sure that the drainage system of the entire Delhi NCR region is up to mark. My colleague Amit Bharadwaj is now joining me on the story. Amit, we have been reporting on this for the past 3 days. It seems that there is a lot of blame game being done, but the sufferer, Amit, at the end of the day is the common man.
Right, Aishwarya, it is eventually the Aam Aadmi who has to suffer. And especially, there was a perception in the beginning, many of the people within Delhi and across the country might have thought, or there was a perception that people who are living in the Yamuna pushtas, in the low-lying areas of Delhi, in the floodplains of Delhi, who belong to lower economic strata are the ones only who will face the brunt of the Yamuna floods, if at all. Until yesterday, while I was speaking to the senior officials of the Delhi government, the minister in the Delhi government, they were constantly talking about one number. That was 208. 208 meters. If Yamuna crosses that mark, then there was a threat of Yamuna flooding into the city, in the residential areas of the national capital. And Aishwarya, where I am standing right now, this is not waterlogging. This is Yamuna flowing in full force, bringing whatever it finds on its path and taking it away with its current. And in the national capital, the city's old city's walls have been breached, and the modern infrastructure is now being challenged by Yamuna with full might, with full force. And I can tell you, the place I'm standing right now, I'll ask Sajid to pan the camera back to me here. The force is so strong. The force is so strong that it's almost impossible to stand straight, and it's very difficult to take a step without losing balance. And I've been telling this continuously. What happens is that every few minutes suddenly the current becomes stronger, and so does the water level increases here. So that is it is a signal that things are worsening in the national capital. And there could be several blame games by the political parties, but the fact is that more water that is coming from Himachal Pradesh is something which is causing a lot of threat to Haryana and eventually to Delhi, because flood-like situations have unfolded in the national capital, and that is happening because the excess water which is coming from Himachal Pradesh, there is no way to hold it back at Hathni Kund barrage in Haryana, and it will have to be released to Delhi. Now you can say that drains were not cleared out, but I don't know which city infrastructure's drain can hold back this water, because this is question of overall city planning. You cannot pinpoint it to a single drain management or situations of that sort, because had it been a situation that flood affecting only the low-lying areas of the national capital, the Jamuna Pustas, the flood plains, that's not the case. Now the water, Yamuna's water, the old city's wall, and it is entering the modern city of the national, all the modern infrastructure. And this is happening, you can say, the nature's fury in Himachal Pradesh, which cannot be held back at Hathni Kund barrage, and eventually to come on its way. And you will have to, 1978, Delhi witnessed floods. The mark 1.49 meter, and it had brought devastation. Today, as we speak, as we report, we are filing all you have been to the inundated floodplains of the national capital yesterday. We have filed several reports, and we know for a matter of fact that as we speak, the Yamuna water has already touched the mark of 208.62. The only relief in the past hour is that there is no change in the data of 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. The 3 p.m. data will be available with us shortly, so that we'll be able to understand as to how much cubic water, how much lakh cubic water has been released by Haryana towards Delhi, and that would indicate as to whether the situation in the national capital will worsen as the day progresses and the sun downs, or whether the situation will remain like this, or there is any hope for the water to recede, for the water to reduce in Yamuna, so that places of this sort can, life can be restored, normal life can be restored in these areas. One more fact, Aishwarya, before I toss back, the fact remains like, okay, I was talking like of situations of this sort, Aishwarya, where certainly the force of water has increased. I'm sure you would be feeling that force as well, because this is not water logging, it is Yamuna flowing in full force, the mighty Yamuna making its way into challenging the modern infrastructure of the national capital. So all that is unfolding and happening in 2023. I was saying, if by evening the water that is being released from Hatnikund barrage, if that is reduced, there could be some sense of relief by midnight in the national capital. And that relief what will that mean? Yesterday I was reporting I had taken boat to reach to areas such as Yamuna Bazaar, and there the ground floor had already gotten inundated. Today I'm sure even the first floor, which the residents thought by these measures of 2010, 2013, things would be far better. But I'm not sure as to what is happening there, because those slums and jhoggies were the first areas which had faced the maximum brunt. We had to use boat to reach to those households yesterday. I'm not sure as to what is happening there today. How bad is this situation? So the entire stretch from Monastery to Nigambodh Ghat to Yamuna Bazaar, and then towards Madanpur Khadar. Yes, there is a double whammy as well, Aishwarya, for the people in the national capital. On one side, you have access water challenging the modern infrastructure of the national capital. On the other side, people in the several parts of Delhi might face water crisis in the days to come. Back to you, Aishwarya.